Hi, and welcome back to Arts Focus. I'm sitting in for Sarah Dresser. My name is JJ Musgrove, the director of the OCA, and with me now, our final guest for this particular episode is Kathleen Johnson. Kathleen is the co-artistic director for PACE, and if you don't know what PACE is, it's a wonderful, wonderful children's theater and education organization here in town. It stands for Performing Arts and Children's Education. I always make sure I read that so I don't put in some weird A there or something like that.
Great.
Kathleen, first of all, welcome to Columbia.
Thank you.
I know that you are new here.
Yes.
And that you're new to PACE, you're new to Columbia. Tell us a little bit about your background and how did you find your way to PACE, and then we can get into PACE a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background has been in theater since I was in first grade and had too much energy and was told, go do something with it. And then as I went to the University of Notre Dame and I did theater there and then got into the education program. And so I not only have a background in theater, but then my master's is in education. And so I've been working since getting that as not only a teacher, but then also working in coaching students and teaching theater classes and improv. And for the past 4 years, I've been in Minnesota teaching and working with kids up there. And then my husband got a job in Columbia, and that's what brought us here.
Well, that's wonderfple.
Yeah.
That's great. Were you in Minnesota? Were you at Climb Theater in Minnesota by any chance?
No,
okay.
no. I was teaching full time when I was in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I taught at Apple Valley High School and coached and then did a little acting and teaching when I was there.
Well,
so.
that's wonderful. Well, first of all, it's great to have a new artist come to town here,
thank
and
you.
welcome to a funky artistic town. You
No,
know, we
it's
like our
great.
place. We
It's
really do.
great.
Well, tell us about PACE and what is it that drew you to that? Obviously, you have that background there. And then how did you become to assume the role of co-artistic director with them?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of theater that's happening in Columbia, a lot of performing arts that's happening here. And so it wasn't hard for me to kind of start navigating that realm when I found out that we were going to be moving here. But given the emphasis, at least in my life, that's always kind of drawn me towards education, I looked primarily at children's theaters, and PACE stood out right away to me as one that really put the emphasis on the educational process with children. And that to me, I think, is really the tricky thing about children's theater or theater for young audiences. I think oftentimes we think if we're going to bring kids into it and make it an educational process, then we sacrifice levels of artistic quality because of it. And what I kind of see as the really fun challenge of working with kids is how can we enhance the integrity of our performance by bringing kids in. I think sometimes you get even more authenticity out of a production when you have fresh eyes and faces and people that haven't been through kind of some of the experiences that adult actors have been through. And so I think that that can bring a fresh quality to theater. And so that's what drew me to PACE initially. And I got in contact with Angela last winter when I found out that I was going to be moving here. And she and I were talking about classes and different ways that I could kind of bring in my expertise with the organization. And the more we worked together and the more we spoke and met over the summer, we co-directed our production of Seussical, and it just seemed like a really wonderful fit. And so she was looking to kind of bring someone else in with her to help really grow and expand the organization. And I was happy to
fill that role for her, so to speak. So that's great.
Yeah.
What type of educational opportunities are you offering your students now that are involved in your PACE program?
Sure, we have lots of different classes. This semester alone, I think we're offering 14 classes.
Wow.
And we go between dance classes and strictly theater classes, and then also some musical theater that we offer. So within the dance realm and that kind of like creative movement, we start as young as 2.5 with kids, kind of offering a short opportunity for the little ones to get in and just start kind of experimenting through play. And then our dance classes and theater classes go up beyond that. So we offer, things like advanced combo and tap and hip hop and cheerleading. And then on the theater side of it, we offer a wide range of classes. Some of them are production-based classes, so students can enroll and then work over the course, not only developing skills, but also work towards an actual production at the end of it. And then we have basic acting classes for students, some improv classes, and then musical theater, where we can bring students in kind of a triple threat idea, where they learn a little bit of dance, a little bit of theater, and a little bit of music. And then this semester, we're offering a wonderful class for adults in Meisner technique. So we're trying to kind of expand a little bit of the offerings. That was an opportunity that kind of just came up, and we wanted to bring it in. So we're always looking for ways that we can expand the opportunities available to
Who's teaching the
our
Meisner
students.
workshop? Are you or?
No, I'm not. No, it's a special guest artist that's coming
Okay.
in. So,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Go Meisner. Well, you either. Sorry.
I know.
This is
I
theater
know.
person talk. You either love Meisner or you hate
Or you
Meisner.
hate
It's just one of
Meisner.
those things, you know, that type of deal.
Right, exactly.
So, and I've heard both sides. It's amazing. We got very artistic there. It's like just both
I
sides
know,
are horrible.
right?
Yeah, so, the idea of your students now, you know, so you start at 2.5 and then go all the way through high school.
Yeah.
And they have production opportunities.
Yes.
And so you have students that are high school juniors or seniors, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, that may be, you know, directing shows and designing
Yes.
shows and things
Yeah.
like that. How's that mentor
It's
process
very
happen?
important for us to get students involved in all areas of
Mm-hmm.
it. So it's not that we are a program without adults
Yeah.
a part of it. In fact, with some of the productions, we actually bring in adult actors
Yeah.
who can kind of help be that mentor. So students are able to participate not only in the acting portion of things, but we bring students in to help do props for us, to help with the costume selection and creation. Even students who are a part of those production classes will help with various elements of building the set so that they can kind of experience all of the different aspects. A lot of students might get involved with theater and think it's just about acting, and a number of students that come to us find that they, you know, love the theater world, but would really much rather sit on the outskirts and be a
Right.
part of the creation.
Right.
So
Actually have a job in theater that way. Yes,
and
that's
the
good.
wonderful
Yeah.
thing I found about PACE is that a lot of our students who then, when they go off to college and even after, will come back, and our alumni will come in who are working artists, then come back in and help work and kind of pass that on to the students. So we're happy to hire them to come back in.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So,
Well, that's
yeah.
fantastic. One of my, I think a great success story is a young man. I won't say his name just because I don't have permission to do it, but he wouldn't care. But he went through the PACE program. He eventually became a director, a young student director, and then later on, he directed a show at Columbia Entertainment Company. It was the first show that personally I auditioned for, and so I had an opportunity to work with him. And he was when I first auditioned for this 19-year-old kid, I thought, oh wow, what do we do? Yeah, exactly. This is a bad idea.
Right.
And then just seeing that the training that he had in communicating and in directing was impressive outside of a formal training, you know.
Right.
So, but what he had there was a really nice foundation. And here was an individual that was not going to go on in their theater career whatsoever. He's going to go on and be an environmentalist or whatever, but this was always going to be an avocation of him. And I think that's what PACE can do for people too.
It is. I mean, there's no doubt that communication is the #1 skill that people are looking for. And I think that the goal for PACE is not to bring in children and make them the next, you know, Broadway star.
Right.
If that happens, great. We love that. But really to help every child feel like they have the capacity to stand up and speak what they believe and speak it with a sense of confidence. And I think that's the cool thing theater offers.
Oh,
So.
exactly. And those skills last forever, as
Yes.
we know ourselves.
Yes.
If people want to find out more about PACE, since we're going to wrap up here,
Yeah.
tell us the spiel.
Yeah, so pacecolumbia.com is where you're going to find all of the information. We have some great shows coming up. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is happening in December. And then on November 13th, Friday the 13th, we're doing a really fun fundraiser, which is going to be a murder mystery dinner theater interactive thing. So if you can come to our events, come there, or check out on the website where you can get tickets and find out more about our organization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. The best way that you can support arts and culture organizations in our community is by showing up, and that
Yes.
would be wonderful. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you to CAT TV and to the Office of Cultural Affairs for City of Columbia. This was Arts Focus, and we'll see you next month.